What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is, baby. This is the BirdCage. We got a hot one for you tonight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. We got you covered. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
What's going on, man? You know how we get down. You either get right or you get left, as we say. So you're definitely tuning in, so you're getting right with us. So while we getting right, let me go ahead and bring in the folks that's getting ready to help me get this thing right. We got K-Dub in the building, and we got Gray Beard in the building. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good to be in the building tonight with everybody. Great Beard and historian alike, and all the followers and supporters of the BirdCage, man. Good to see everybody tonight. Let's get into the topic.
Man, what's going on, man? How y'all feeling?
Man, we good, man. We good. Just ready to tap into these Falcons real quick and just talk about some of the things that need to be discussed at this point, because we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. So what's going on, fellas? We see you. Appreciate y'all chopping it up with us and tuning in. First topic of the night. Let's go ahead and get to it. Now, the draft has been a big thing this year for the Falcons, and it's been very ostracized to a certain extent, where the public media has been pissed, but the fan base has been happy. But again, as we always say, man, we're gonna go ahead and do it like this here. We got the GOAT, Bill Belichick, that literally, I apologize. Let me go ahead and get this right. We have the GOAT, Bill Belichick, that approves of this draft. He literally broke down and said Atlanta not only addressed pass rush needs, you grab two of the best in outside, pretty much outside linebackers / pass rushers in the country or whatnot. When you really look at Belichick and what he says, this man understands defense because he's won multiple Super Bowls. Really, let's be real. He's got 8 Super Bowl rings. 2 as a defensive coordinator and 6 as a head coach. When you talk about defense and you look at all the Hall of Famers that he coached, you know, Lawrence Taylor's in the class of his own, but you look at Richard Seymour, Georgia Bulldog, and so many others that have come through from Willie McGinnis, who should be in the Hall of Fame. How do you feel that you get this type of evaluation from Belichick when he talks about your edge rushers, and he's had great edge rushers, period?
Well, coming from Belichick, man, I think he comes with a great deal of respect in how he always won. His focal point always been on the defense side of the ball, containment, taking away their best asset on offense. So, I mean, coming from Bill, hey man, I think Atlanta Falcons fan need to be feel pretty good coming from a future first ballot Hall of Famer and the head coach and Bill. So for me, now that we getting the information, man, we just got to build up on it and get coached up.
Most definitely. K-Dub, how do you feel as if getting this type of evaluation from a man that had one of the greatest, really, I'll say one of the greatest defensive players of all time to grace his defense, and you look at some of those legends that he coached, and for him to have such high praise for these young guys, what does it say about the Falcons scouting department and how they made these evaluations for our first round picks?
Well, I mean, I feel like the fan base and the other coaches around the league and experts in draft analysis are giving us good vibes. So, I mean, he's just another person that you can just throw on board. And that's saying that a great legendary coach like Bill Belichick thinks the same way we're thinking. I mean, it just more kudos to the front office for the Falcons and finally getting their act together, finally doing the homework and checking their boxes and crossing their T's and dotting their I's, man. I mean, I'm just can't wait to get them out there on the grass, man. And it's another person that just on board with them making the right selections finally and not going in the opposite direction or direction that doesn't help the team moving forward. But I mean, I mean, it's good that it's Bill Belichick, but I feel like they made a great decision too. So is everybody up in an uproar that K-Dub thinks they made the right decision? So, I mean, it is what it is. He's a Hall of Fame type of coach, and he's won a lot of championships and a lot of rings. So it's good coming from him, but I really don't look at it either kind of way. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are saying that we did a great job in the draft, so he's just another person to add on board. That's just my opinion.
Well, the local media seems to think that, but the national media has said otherwise. But again, when you really look at it, the national media has never, they were okay with us taking Kirk Cousins last year. Oh, we were the talk of the town. But as soon as we draft up and take two edge rushers that were top guys coming out of the SEC, really out of the country in this draft, oh, they were pissed. Let's be honest. We threw off a lot of their board when you talk about their draft board. And hey, it is what it is, man. My thing is this. I don't think that we should fall into a category of trying to live up to the media's expectations, if you understand what I'm saying.
Because we'll never do it.
I feel as if we are a team that we need to chart our own path. We need to create this legacy for this team because the legacy that the Falcons have right now has been horrible of losing. And I'm just going to quote Mr. CeeLo Green or whatnot. Shout out to Mr. CeeLo with this one here. There was a song that Goody Mob made called Special Education. I don't know if y'all know or familiar with it. Yeah. And I'm going to quote it to you. Let me put something poetic into plain English. I'd rather die than to be distinguished. The outsiders have no desires to be equal when VIP stands for very insecure people. And I'm just going to be 100. There's a lot of insecure people when you sit back and you look at it. And the way that the Falcons have drafted and the way that the Falcons have put themselves on top of the mountain with this draft, not only with the edge rushers, he also spoke about the safeties as well. And when you look at, you grab the two top safeties in the country. What more? I mean, think about it. Those two were actually ranked above Malachi Starks because of the interceptions. Hands down. And they've had the most. You get Xavier Watts, who we unfortunately got to see last year in the playoffs, who had a very good game against Georgia. And then you go to Billy Bowman, who is a top talent. And when you look at these two guys coming in, those are going to be difference makers on the back end. And Jesse Bates is not going to have so much on his plate. And most people aren't thinking of that. So Belichick is looking at it all the way around defensively.
Yeah, I think Belichick looking at it long term.
And you got four guys that are literally going to be starting. And now you got Hughes coming back off of injury. He's solid when he's healthy. But even if he goes down again, guess what you got? You got Kobe Bryant on that team. Then you got Dante Manning, who's out of Oregon, who runs a 4.3. And as much as I hate to say it, he'll remind you of a certain Falcons corner that can outrun daylight, but he's got to work on his hands, and I think Jerry Gray can get him. He reminds me a little bit of Robert Alford, just to be honest.
I kind of figure you're going to get Robert Alford.
So here's the question I have for you. And Belichick broke these two safeties down, and he looked at Xavier Watts. He compared him to Jesse Bates III. He said he's pretty much drafting the younger Jesse Bates. But when you look at Bowman is very physical when he gets into the box, and he also is a ball hog. He compared Billy Bowman to Rodney Harrison. Most people call him the dirtiest safety in the game. I loved his game because he was physical. How do you guys see, and I'm going to let K-Dub start this one, when you hear Belichick comparing him to one of the nastiest safeties in the league who was feared and respected, even though the media tried to call him dirty, he was just a physical player. How do you feel about us having that type of player in this secondary?
I mean, like I say, that's a great comparison. That's a lot, like I say, you know, set the bar high for Billy Bowman to reach for. Like I say, man, that's a great player to be mocked to. So just continue to just keep doing the thing that you did at Oklahoma. Continue to be a ball hawk. Continue to turn the ball over and get the ball back to MP9 in that offense. And like I say, man, I got high hopes for everybody who got drafted, man. I mean, they did their homework, but just being compared to just not anybody, but a player of that caliber, you have to really strap your cleats on tight and put your helmet on and chin strap on tight. And let's go, man. And let's go make plays, man, and live up to the standards that a Hall of Fame coach put up to basically compared you to. So I feel ecstatic, but I don't want to put too much on these guys' plate. I really want to see them get on the grass and see how they play, see if they can withstand and withstand not getting injured. That's my key thing right now. Getting these guys, getting them to week 1, no injuries, staying injury free, because they can look good on tape. They can look good on all the highlight films that we see coming out of college. But are you going to be able to help the Falcons week 1 moving forward and not go out like Trice did? Because Trice was looking great in off-season drills and practices and before the season started also. And then he goes down for the season right before the season started. So we never got to really see Trice. So I just want guys to stay healthy and let's go and continue to get their bodies in shape and ready for this long, grueling season that's going to take to get up, climb that mountaintop and successfully go for a Super Bowl run. We got to just, like I say, I don't want to put too much in front of them, but you never know what team has enough leg and enough stamina to get to that goal line. I mean, like I said, Philly did it last year, but what's to say they're going to be not have the injuries and have to be injury free this year? They could have 1 or 2 or 3 key guys go down in that run to avenge their Super Bowl win. Could be they could be tripped up. So but
here's the thing, though, and I know you saying that's hopeful thinking, but I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. Philly got dealt. That's what separates them from everybody else. So even if they lose somebody, you have guys that are starters that are backups on that team. Like the way Howie Roseman set that stuff up, and I'm not sitting here trying to shake a pom-pom for him, but I'm taking my Falcon cap off for a second. I'm actually being an analyst with this. When you look at how they constructed that team, the contracts, the way that they brought in certain free agents, the way that they also stacked their roster, they're pretty much set regardless of what happens. They're set. So if they lose a guy, guess what? They got guys that's coming in with experience, guys that played on this championship team last year, or they're coming from other teams where they were top players, like a Lewis Seen, who they got for literally nothing. They got another safety. So if Makuba doesn't get the job done as a true rookie, you got a Lewis Seen who's a veteran coming in that's going to be in that back end. When I say I'll put it this way. I think we get about 3 or 4 more years, we'll be able to have a team that's going to be stacked like that, where we have that type of depth on our team. But right now, we're just not in that place. We have good players on our team right now. We had a hell of a draft, but we've got to get our depth a little bit better.
I don't feel like we compare to Philly.
Oh no.
But I just feel like I say, but I just feel like the wrong injury here or there, they could be derailed. You know, you lose a Jalen Hurts, you lose a Saquon Barkley. They may have guys behind them, but they are not those guys. So, like I say, you get the wrong injury or the right injury, and they're derailed. I don't care if they got an outstanding defense or not. All it takes is them to lose one time. Like I said, we beat them with Kirk Cousins last year, so they're not invincible. So,
and that was because let's be real. Let's be real. We didn't beat them because we were better last night. Look, I love to win, but I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. We beat them. What about now?
Good.
All right, we beat those guys because their head coach made a dumb decision. Period. They had their game won. When you throw the ball to Saquon Barkley, let's be real. Saquon was killing us that night. We couldn't stop the run, but when we got an opportunity to steal a game, it was beautiful. I'm good with that, but I'm not gonna sit there and talk like we went in there and just kick their teeth in because we didn't.
I didn't say we did. I said we beat them. I didn't say we kicked nobody teeth in.
No, but I'm saying we beat them because of a dumb mistake somebody made. And you see, they went 14-2 and then took the trophy. We can't. Look. I'll take wins however we get them, hook and crook. I will take them. But I'm just realistic about this team. I think we have a lot of talent, but we are not ready to compete for a championship yet. We have too many holes that we still got to fill. Period.
And not only that, I think when we talk about the injury part of the game, it's already going to be a 50-50 with the injury. So, and part of the reason why a player can get the injury so much because the way they practice can pretty much like two-hand touch. The only way your body has to get acclimated to playing football and whatever the case. But I do agree with you, K-Dub. Man, I don't want to put too much on their plate. I mean, I think him being compared to Rodney Harrison, that should be a hellified confidence and something for him to motivate him to get to almost to that level. I'm not going to expect that in year one. I expect that to come in time and development. But I also put in the note on the head coaching to get these boys coached up as well. So, yeah, man, it's time to get excited like a Falcons fan, man. I understand we don't have over 50 years of misery and heartache and pain, but when you get
rid of that.
Yeah, but when you finally get a draft right, and the way they draft and how aggressive they were, all you got to do now is just build from there.
And that's something that we got to do. And my thing is, I think we're starting to get pillars for this team that can be the pillars of the future, which I love the way that we move, but I want more depth. I'm greedy. I'm sorry, I'm greedy. You give me a good plate of food or whatnot, I want a little bit more. And the only thing that I hate right now is that we're money-wise, we're strapped, so we can't grab that depth like we need to grab it at this point. Yeah. Because again, like K-Dub was saying, if an injury happens with Philly or something, we're just using them as hypothetical. We're not trying to glaze them or nothing like that. But they got money to go get somebody. They literally got equity to do that. We don't really have much equity right now. We have to build that equity back up to keep us in the runnings to be competitive. That Kirk Cousins did hurt us to a certain extent. So I think we're on the right trajectory to moving up. And I think next year's draft is going to be great. But to get Bill Belichick to approve of how we moved in the draft and also in the undrafted free agency market says a lot for a guy that's getting ready to become a college coach and get his team ready for this year. He actually paid us a little bit of attention.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, take it as a compliment and you get that motivation.
So I'll give you this. So next, speaking of Philly, since we've been in talking about Philly for a minute, let's go ahead and talk about the general manager. The general manager for Philly was really in his feelings or whatnot about how nobody took his offers, but the Falcons' offer was taken. No one wanted to take that. Let's be real. No one wanted to take that offer because everybody already knows that Philadelphia is a stacked team already. You don't want to give them any kind of leverage.
They would have got they would have got Walker. My goodness.
They were literally gonna try to draft James.
Yeah, they were trying to get JP. They were trying to get James Pierce.
It was from what was said on the radio, it was Jalen Walker they were really after. That was who they wanted. James Pierce was secondary for them. And the other guy that they had on the books was Jahad Campbell. That was their third option. So they had three guys they were looking at getting. They were going to trade up to do so. But
I seen a lot of mock drafts having them mock to get the guy they got.
Yeah.
He's solid though.
I mean, Jahad Campbell is solid.
I seen a lot of Jahad Campbell mocks right before the draft. So I mean, I thought they did what the mocks that I seen. You know, I seen about 3 or 4 mocks mocking him to them. So,
but here's what's scary about that whole ordeal when you say Philly in that sense. Philly's never gone wrong with Tennessee players either.
Nope.
They had one of the greatest players of all time in Mr. Reggie White. And even after that, they had Derek Barnett, who was a bookend for them that helped them win a Super Bowl in 2017. He was first round pick and definitely built off of that. So if you really look at how Howie Roseman drafted, Howie is an SEC guy in any way because he's a Florida Gator. So he knows about the talent that's there. He drafts in every other conference or whatnot, as you see, doesn't mind taking guys that can play. But his bread and butter has been the SEC, period.
It been paying him dividend, I tell you that much.
And if you saw the video, he was in his feelings like, yeah, nobody want to take this. Nobody wants to take our offer. And I'm with you on this, Rich. Who wants to let you stack a team up?
Yeah.
Y'all already stacked that good.
That makes no sense. Like, why would we let you stack a team that already just won a Super Bowl? And y'all already got these young core players that's gonna be together still.
And then players
make sense.
Then players coming back, and then they added on a couple more pieces, man.
I mean, they're gonna do that to Philly the next couple drafts, man. They're gonna try to block all their stuff, man. A lot of teams get tired of it. They already set. They got a young team to stack.
Very young team.
And K-Dub, here's the scary part. They also took one of the top safeties in the draft, Andrew McCooper, who was at Clemson first, went to Texas or whatnot, had the hard hit off of Gunnar Stockton. Everybody remembers that shot. But McCooper was doing that all year. And now you add him in the back of that secondary with that front.
Wait a minute. Don't they got TJ Tampa?
No, that's Baltimore that's got
TJ. That's Baltimore. Never mind. They got somebody
think
else.
about it. They got Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and now they got that back there. And
Yeah,
they were really going to try to trade up and get James Pierce or Jalen Walker. That would have been lit. That's a cheat code if you get either one of them guys to go to that defense.
Not to mention the Kobe Dean coming back this year.
Jeez. Well, here's the thing. The Kobe Dean might be gone after his rookie year. We might be able to pick him up. I know this might sound crazy. It's a little premature.
After his rookie contract, I said, yeah.
Yeah,
he's gonna be done. They're not gonna. I'm gonna tell you this here, and this is just stuff that we've been hearing. They love him here, but the injuries has hurt him up here in Philly with being able to stay on the field. They drafted him; he was injured, and every year he's not been able to finish the season.
Well, I don't want the Falcons to go get him. Then I don't want no injured dog.
No, you can get But here's the thing: you can get him for cheap and use him as a rotational piece in this defense, where a lot isn't asked to him. That's why I'm saying we can stack that defense. Like, because think about it, Leonard Floyd is here, but how long is he gonna be here for, and how much production are we gonna get out of him? Because he's getting a little long in the tooth.
What about Troy Anderson? I'll take the Kobe Dean.
I think Troy Anderson get cut. I think I was talking to someone here. I think he gets cut this season.
Nah. Probably after
that's my opinion.
No. I'm with you on that, K-Dub. Look. I'm with you when you're right. And K-Dub is right about this one, great bid. Troy Anderson is going to be gone.
Let's be
real on this.
I don't see him making his team.
Let's be real on this. If they keep him, you got to keep him as an edge rusher, not a linebacker. You have to.
But talk about depth.
But here's the thing. But how can we have depth when he's always in Piedmont Hospital?
Damn.
Emory, whatever one. He in one of them hospitals.
We're partners with Piedmont Hospital.
Echo.
Let's see. Oh man, this is crazy. Echo tonight. So yeah. So we figured out where the echo was coming from. That's on you. That's me talking, but it's bouncing back off you because when
I don't hear no echo.
Yeah. But getting back to it, though, when you look at Nakobe Dean, think about it. Trey Anderson is a project linebacker. Nakobe Dean has been a linebacker his whole life.
Yeah, man. Hey, the $2 million Carlo, he know what I'm talking about, man. That man up out of it, man.
And let's be real, Greg. If I just say this, if you bring in a Nakobe Dean to this defense, you're bringing one of the smartest players into this draft room. You're talking about a guy that was an engineer, 4.0 GPA all through.
We should have took him in the first place.
Well, they took Trey Anderson. But guess what? We might be able to get him because Philly is not going to pay him top dollar. Now, if he takes a team-friendly deal, that's one thing, but I don't see him taking the team-friendly deal. Jahan Campbell's going to be on a cheap contract being a rookie. So that is a way that Atlanta could actually steal one. And Terry is good for that.
Okay.
I just think he needs to stay away from the injured play. I love a dog. I love dogs, but Troy Anderson's been injured and he's been injured. So it's like,
We've had a couple of players that have been good for us that were injured, and then they didn't get injured when they were here. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But I got you on that, K-Dub. But here's my thing: I take a chance on Nakobe before I take a chance on Troy again.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not just because he's a dog, like you were saying. It's the fact that you got a guy that understands the game of football and knows how to be a linebacker because he's been a linebacker his whole life.
And I can't even put that all on Troy because they made that man to be everything, and he pretty much did everything instead of him being focused on one particular freaking position. I can't all put it on Troy Anderson.
I'm putting it on Troy. We should have never drafted him. I mean, I understand we did.
That was Terry.
It just.
That's you, Graybeard.
I know. I'll be back.
Man, we'll bring you back up. It's cool. But getting to the next topic or whatnot. But that's just a little something that I've been hearing, and I think that Buzz would be nice if you brought him in. And I think Ulbrich can help him. You never know. Getting back here, strength and conditioning program, and him being in a situation, man, that's just pretty much something that you could just do. Now StreamYard wants to act up. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you this, K-Dub. When you look at the next thing that we're talking about, and this is we're getting to these Falcons. Pressure does mount a little bit for Terry, even though he had a good draft. With the aggressive draft, the production has to come this year, period. The production has to come. And Raheem Morris has the weapons now. He has no excuse. How are these two guys, even though Terry got the job done on his end, how do you think Atlanta responds to what Terry brought them? And if they don't respond next year, how do you feel this could affect us when it comes to his future here? Being honest.
Oh, we talking Terry. I mean, I think both of them may get fired. I think they both get escorted and seen the door together. I know they didn't come in quite together, and Terry was already here. But I just feel like they'll turn the page and bring in another regime. I just want to give them my wholehearted, just continue to back them, man. Until they get escorted out, I just want to be able to back them. I want to sit there and say I gave them all that they needed and the support that they needed to be successful, man. I understand that the drafts, the previous draft, not this draft, but the previous drafts weren't to our liking, but I feel like they're on the same page finally. It takes some time, and we need continuity in that front office. I just pray that they get it done, even if it's not a Super Bowl, but go on a nice run, maybe get a 1 or 2 wins in the playoffs, and give us something to hang our hat on going into next season. But you never know. Like the 2 years we went to the Super Bowl and didn't get the job done, 2 years we did go in '98 and '16. Nobody seen it coming. I didn't see us going to the Super Bowl when those seasons first started. Of course, you would like to be relative. You want to win and you want to have a great season, but I didn't see a Super Bowl until as the season starts to go along and you get to 8-0 and you get to a great record as the season goes along. You're like, oh, we may have a shot, but I didn't see Super Bowl at the beginning of those seasons.
I'm gonna be honest with you. 2016 didn't surprise me. I said this a long time ago, and it's a reason why I said 2016.
It surprised me.
I'm gonna give you a reason. Think about it. We started off with 6. We started off 6-0 in 2015 with a brand new offense, brand new offensive coordinator that was installing his system. And if you're a true football head or a former player or whatever, and you look at the continuity when those guys were learning that system and trying to get it down pat, he froze out Roddy White, yes. But if you look at how everything started to click, just like this here, it stalled. Defense wasn't right. Dan Quinn went into the draft, got defensive guys. Then 2016, that offense literally took off.
I'm not saying that once the season got going, yes. But I'm saying like before the season, like while they were in training camp, I didn't see like, oh man, I see a Super Bowl. No. I seen a good. Now, once the season got going, we got in like week 7, week 8, week 9. I said, "Oh yeah, they clicking." but not when the season first starts. Now you might give how we would give our pre-season analysis, how we may feel. Okay, we think they'll go 12, and you know what I'm saying. I'm talking
Yeah.
about before the season. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
get
you
at.
said, yeah,
I
you
do
said
not.
before the season.
No, I'm
Like,
talking about I just didn't see no Super Bowl.
I
Yeah,
saw
I
us going to
mean,
the play. I saw us going to the playoffs. I'm
yeah,
not gonna say Super
I
Bowl.
probably could have said I seen playoffs because we had the Julio, we had the Matt Ryan, we had a star-studded defense.
Because that
Go ahead.
offense was starting to roll last year. The offense was starting to roll last year. So when you sit back and you look at how everything went with that offense, that was one of the most exciting offenses that you could see. And when you look at how it started to click, it was just one of those things. But I look at this season that's going to be coming up right now with the aggressive draft picks that we've taken, the undrafted free agents that we've taken. I see some of these undrafted free agents becoming starters on this team next year. And I'm saying it because you got to get rid of this riffraff that we have right now. Yeah, I went old school. I said riffraff. You got to get rid of some of the riffraff that's on this team, sit them to the bench, let these young cats go out here and go get it. They're hungry. And I feel two players are really going to be very, very dangerous for this team. Well, three players are going to be very, very dangerous for this team. You got Nick Nash, wide receiver. That's going to be dangerous. I'm sorry, four players. Nick Nash, Quincy Skinner is the other one out of Vanderbilt, who's nasty with it. Then I got to go on the defensive side of the ball. Kobe Bryant could possibly be a cornerback too, even though Hughes signed that contract. If Hughes is not playing well and Kobe comes in and shows out, I can see him taking that spot. And then you also gotta look at Barrow, the defensive tackle. That kid right there could be a serious problem at this.
I heard a lot about him.
Yep. Between him and Zeke Biggers, they were the two best D tackles in the ACC last year.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot about they like him, that D tackle.
Boom. So Graybeard, what do you think? Me and K Dub have said it. So what you think?
You talk about the amount of pressure on Terry and partner. I mean Raheem and Terry.
Oh,
I think Terry might have gave the way the draft is predicting, and if we can get 3 starters this year, he pretty much can get he might get a little bit of grace. I think Raheem is gonna get a little bit of pressure because Terry gonna be that look. I gave you what you asked for. I gave you what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's up to you and the coaching staff to get them up to par. I mean, we can only blame Terry but so much until we start putting it on that head coach for not having these boys coached up and ready to play. And especially if he go out there and be aggressive like he was in the draft. Now give you not 1 pass rusher, but 2 pass rusher. 2 possible starting DBs and a freaking swing tackle that might be a starter within a year. So I can't fault Terry for the players that we got because we got quality players now in the draft. And in free agency, he hit it out of the park. Kobe Bryant, Nick Nash, and all these other guys. Players that Philly and Kansas City and Baltimore, Bill could have easily came up and quiet. He'd be like, he was first in the shoot and grabbed him. So Terry pretty much did his job as a general manager. And at the same time trying to get our books back right. Now it's up to Raheem to do his part and getting these boys ready mentally and physically and getting them coached up for the season.
Here's the crazy part. You talk about this guy possibly following in this situation or whatnot, and you're looking at the Falcons. He brought Raheem in, his coach. Even though he could have pushed back, he's choosing to bring him in. Now, like K-Dub said at the beginning, if they don't get it done with this team this year, at least get to a playoff, then you start to ask questions at that point. Is Raheem the guy to lead? I know everybody's like, oh, man, no. When you make moves the way that we made them in the draft, and we're in the worst division in football, the worst. You have no excuses. You swept the division champ last year. You got to get it done. You had a division lead. You have no excuse. This is why I say the pressure mounts. not being a negative Nancy. It's calling what the truth is. When you really look at the Falcons at this point, you have to win this division this year. You have to. Or if you don't win the division, you better win a playoff game. One of the two. If you don't do that, the season is a failure. Period.
Preferably both.
Oh, yeah. Preferably we need both. But my thing is you got to get one or the other. If you don't get one or the other, the season is considered a failure. And then you start questioning it.
How many wins you think are gonna take to win this division?
Well, I'm going for 9. Hopefully 9 will get it to win because I'm just going one. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm not gonna go too far.
With the schedule
we keep improving by 8 games. So if we improve by 8, we're gonna go by one more 9.
I say 10.
I'm about to get 10 all
I got 10. I got the Falcons winning 10 games this year. I took it down the game because you got a lot of young guys coming in. We don't know what Penix is going to be like as the full-time starter now because 3 games, they got a sample size, but what's going to happen when that tape gets a little bit bigger, teams will be able to prepare a little bit more for that. Now, the only thing that we have in our bag right now that helps us is we didn't open up the playbook last year. Think about it. They kept it basic last year. And now that Penix has had a full year in the system, you got a chance to open up that playbook. And the question is, who's going to stay healthy? Who's going to be able to be the playmaker this year for this offense? Because Bijan is the featured back. The question is, are they going to use Tyler Algier?
They better.
That's my question. Are you going to use Tyler Algier? Because at this point, what the hell are we holding on to him for if you're not going to use him?
I mean, I'm looking at the rest of the league. The league is starting to go back to a 2-back system.
Yeah.
I mean, but are they going to pay him? Because
they're not going to pay him.
That's what I'm saying. Are they going to pay him? Because if you're not going to pay him, you might as well try to get some equity for him. I don't want him gone. I've already told you. I want him here. Hell, I told you that I felt as if we had a franchise back in him. But again,
that goes back to when we had Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Who did they pay?
They paid the guy that was broke down more so than the Chevy Pinto.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Ford Pinto.
For what it's worth, he had moments. He did. And when they were healthy, they were the best 1-2 punch in the National Football League. True or false?
Yeah,
they were. But you see what happened when they paid Freeman that money.
He got that first concussion. It was just downhill after that.
And then you saw the difference when Tevin Coleman went right to San Francisco. He went right to another Super Bowl, even though they lost it. And and think about it, he put up better numbers than the guy who got paid more money than him.
I mean, he started over. He was the starter. He was the starter.
And this is my thing. Everybody wants to throw Tyler Algier to the side because they're enamored with Bijan. I'm gonna call a spade. This fan base loves splash plays. They love guys that make them feel good when they see something pretty. Me, I'm all about results. To hell with looking good. Look good on that win column for me. I take an ugly win all day instead of a pretty loss. Oh, well, he got these stats. The boy ain't got a ring yet. That's what I'm looking at. Get them rings. That's what we need. Let's start talking about this. Let's start setting the mindset of this fan base of I hold players to higher expectations. Let's not just have players here for barbershop talk or podcast talk. Let's not just have them here for that. Let's win some damn games.
Oh yeah, meaningful games.
Let's win meaningful games.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they got to get back to a balance. Like I said, you got to get to a balance with the running backs. Like I said, it's a 2-back committee around the league. I think we prioritize both of them. It's just where Bijan was drafted at, and him being more of a, like I say, you can say splash, but I just feel like Bijan is special, man. I mean, he showed it. You know, like I say, I love me some Tyler Algier. He's more of a power throwback type back, but I mean, it's some things that Bijan do is makes him in a special category. So, I mean, I love both backs. I just need them to find a good balance of using both of them, use them
I
at the
agree.
right time.
I
So here's the
agree.
thing. I gotta address Mill. You're not gonna replace that. I'm gonna keep that a buck with you. You say that, but you got a guy that is durable, a guy that gets stronger as the game goes on. He doesn't get gassed easy, and he's hard to bring down, and guys don't want to tackle him. And I meant this when I said this when we got him. I knew about him at BYU. He led the nation in touchdowns literally his junior year and his senior year. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
The man broke William
And broke
Andrews'
William Andrews' record. So here's my thing. You saying that he can be replaced or whatever. When did Bijan ever lead the nation in touchdowns? When did he ever lead the nation in yards per carry?
Nah. He had too many hands. He had too many hands to carry.
Exactly. It was too many hands to carry. Tyler Algier is a guy, and here's the thing. I'm glad we got him. Bijan is starting to turn into a real lion, but let's be honest. Don't sit there and say that he's replaceable like that, because it took 40 years for somebody to break that William Andrews record. Gerald Riggs, as great as he was, didn't even break that record.
Warwick Dunn.
Warwick Dunn never. No, Warwick wasn't a rookie. That was a rookie record. I'm just saying, for all the rookies that's ever come through here, nobody has ever broken that record, and that's a 40-year-old record. And this dude was sharing carries with 4 other backs. 4 other backs that Tyler was sharing with, bro. So you can't sit there and forget that.
One got injured, and after that,
Thank you, Rich. And let's be real. When Patterson was banged up, Damien, whatever his name is, who only played one play and got hurt, messed up his ribs. He was gone for the season. And then you look at Duke Huntley, the other one who tore his Achilles. When Tyler became the number 1 back, the game that he really broke out in as a rookie was that Baltimore game. That was the game that Drake had to take his sleeves off, if y'all remember, because he fumbled the ball. And Tyler Algier carried us in that game. And then the Chicago game, he showed his breakaway speed when he caught that screen and took it 75 yards to the house. So again,
highlight we had.
So again, when you sit back and say that, you got to really assess that. That's a guy that definitely is a very valuable piece. You know how many teams would want that dude if we let him go?
Dallas could have used him. I promise you that.
But again, it's what it is, man. But I'm not gonna sit back and trash. That's my guy, but I gotta disagree with him on that. But the next topic we got coming up, Kirk Cousins could be on the move to New Orleans. We're gonna keep this short and sweet. Right now, I would just keep him on the bench for safekeeping. Bury him on the depth chart. If God forbid anything happens to Penix, you got a guy who knows the system, a guy that can play a couple of games or play the rest of the season. I'm knocking on wood because I don't want Penix to get hurt. But anything happens during the season, you need to have an experienced backup that has been a starter already.
He's number 2 on the depth.
Yeah, that's one team that, even though I need to get rid of Kirk Cousins, you're not going to the Aints. Nope. That's not going to happen.
I mean, they don't know what they're going to do with Carr, and they still got to take on that contract. Then try to turn around and take on another contract. That couldn't kind of cut.
And my thing is this. They don't even trust the rookie quarterback that they have. They're trying to cope with the fact that they got a guy that wasn't even the top player in the country.
They wish they would have held on to James Winston.
Yep. When they let Winston go, that helped out a lot. Because Winston would have actually been able to play with these guys that he's got right now. They got weapons. They actually have weapons, but they don't have anybody to throw it to him. Then they passed on Shador, which I'm glad that they did.
Yeah.
He a giant. Not Shador, but James Winston.
No, he with the Browns.
No, I know. I'm talking about James Winston.
Yeah. And so when you sit back and you think about it, Kirk Cousins that's one team I'd let him go anywhere else but New Orleans, because you know when he plays Atlanta what that's gonna be.
He's gonna try to put 500 on him.
And both times if he went to New Orleans, because Sports Illustrated reported that it could be a possibility that we get rid of him and New Orleans would give us some equity for him. I ain't trying to trade nothing with New Orleans.
What equity do they got?
Future draft picks. They'll give up a pick or two to keep a quarterback.
if we can come high and get a third round pick for them, Terry keeping his job, bro. I'm sorry. You just
Man.
gave that man a bad contract and turn around and fleet
I'm
your
not
freaking rival.
I'm not giving Kirk Cousins that much time on this show, not today.
Nah, we can go ahead and keep going. Okay.
Braylon Trice could be a very vital piece for the Birds this season. We don't have any expectations for him because he's coming off of an injury. However, you have him coming into a system where he doesn't have to be the guy right now. He can recover, get used to the system, and really become a guy that can help this team.
I mean,
How do you feel about Braylon Trice being rotated in with what we have, and you just letting him get his feet back wet, and then turn him loose by the middle of the season?
Nah, I mean, I like that. I like the way that we're gonna try to get him back into the system. Like K-Dub said earlier, man, we hated that the young man get hurt early in the preseason the way that he did. But now we get him back along with the draft pick that we got right now, along with the little free agent that we acquired. I mean, that right there could be a nice little rotation for Jerry Gray and the and Ulbrich in the defense. So I mean, yeah, man, I'm all for it, man. Let's go.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I'm putting this out, but as a fan, I gotta see it.
Yeah,
that's just
definitely gotta see it. But
like I said, I wasn't impressed with him at Washington. I don't give a damn. It's just certain things I look for. I wasn't impressed. I'm just and if he proves me wrong, I'm happy. I have no problem with it. Y'all have, but here's the thing. Y'all know I have no problem with telling the guy that he balled out. Or if he did.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Y'all heard me. I have a problem with saying that.
Absolutely.
However, my guy was Jared Verse, who was the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, you can.
And I said from day, majority of the players that I've talked about on this show, majority of the players have gone on and they balled out.
Jared Verse with that guy. I'm like, damn, he was right.
But Trice has a chance to really be something because he's got help on this defense. Verse was really doing it by himself with his D lineman.
Verse almost won that game, that playoff
with
game
Philly. He almost won that game by himself with Philly. So again, one of our former Bulldogs, Jalen Carter, who we passed on for Mr. Bijan Robinson, he pretty much called domino or whatever and slammed the domino and got Matthew Stafford at the end of that game. That ended it. So again, there's two players that we talk about. The question is this: how is Trice going to be used in this defense, and what can he do?
Well,
I'm a cockeyed optimist. He got to prove it to me.
Well, I got to see how over he's going to utilize them in the system, because we ain't talking about the last guy that we get, and now we're talking about Aubrey. So he may have a whole new different role for him in the defense and try to rotate him in. So like you said, I do agree. I got to see it to believe it, but we also got to trust in the coaching staff and see how they're going to put these people in play to get the production we need.
True.
I mean, like I say, everybody's gonna, unless you play with Ulbrich before, a lot of people on the same playing field. He's bringing in a new defense. Everybody has to learn. Anything that Trice has got.
Your mic went out, K-Dub.
Can you hear me? Went out. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, what I was saying is, everybody's going to be on the same playing field unless you play the Ulbrich defense before with him, because he's coming in. Everybody's going to be learning at the same point. I'm telling you, Trice has some really good guys coming back from that injury. But this is the case. Coach Ollie, who's the defensive line coach, he's fired up. So apparently Trice is looking like he's ready to go, ready to get on the grass and get those pass move, effective, and being violent like he always.
Hey, K-Dub, your mic's going out again.
Can you hear me?
Barely. Pop back out and pop back in.
All right. Hold on.
Graybeard, you there?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, his mic was messed up. We'll let him get back to it.
Yeah, but I do agree. I think we have to be patient with the young man. He is coming back from a very bad injury, and we have to work. Oh yeah, you're perfect now.
Okay.
We have to work him back in, and we have to be realistic with his performance and how we're going to utilize him and how much we're going to be able to get out of him.
And here was a guy that we passed up on when you talk about it. There was a kid that was drafted out of Texas Tech, if you guys remember. And our very own Scoop called it, if you remember, Miles Murphy.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Scoop called it because it was either because here was the thing. I said Jared Verse, Scoop wanted Miles Murphy. Either way, you literally had two bookends right there. Literally. But now you got Verse or what? Not Verse, but now you have Trice coming back. And Trice has got here's my thing, man. Trice has to focus on getting back healthy because it's not the physical part. The physical part is there. It's the mental part that he's got to get back. And honest to God, some guys don't get back to that. It's easy to do it against your teammates because guess what? They're not cutting you. They're not trying to take your legs out. They're not trying to do certain things. He's got to get into the ebbs and flows of the game. And he has to put him in a position to get a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And me, I'm not putting no expectations on, just like I'm not putting expectations on Penix this year because technically this is their rookie year because they didn't play much. They didn't play it all last year.
exactly.
Really. Penix got 3 games under his belt, but hell, that was like 3 pressure preseason games, if you want to describe it.
Trice only made it to the preseason.
Yeah. Like I say, I feel a little different. I feel like they should have got more than 3 games. I got a lot of pressure on Penix. Now, Trice, he didn't test the field at all. He didn't get no 3 games. He didn't get no games. So it's a little different. But with Penix, don't be out here graining the skin and talking about these do-rags and you ain't ready to go. Let's go, man. I got all the effort and swag behind you. Let's go. But you got to perform. You got to make it happen. You got to throw that ball.
Hey, man. We getting ready to coin a term on here. I already got some stuff in the works or whatever. So if you hear it anywhere else on any other podcast or any other show, hey, go ahead and call us for that. Yeah. We pretty much getting ready to turn into what we call swagger snatchers. I don't give a damn about swagger. I'm gonna snatch that effing swagger, and I want some dogs on the field. I want gritty players. I want guys that's got mean streaks, guys that's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Your first 2 draft picks that you just got play in the mud.
Yeah.
They got a mean streak, both of them. Then you got 2 safeties that are just like that. They don't care about swagger. They just want to knock the hell out of people. So again, I'm at the point where I don't give a damn about swagger. That's the problem with everybody. Oh, he gotta have swag. He gotta be this here. Give me a guy that's gonna get the job done.
That's it.
Because here's the thing. Everybody can't be all pretty like Prime used to be. Wristbands everywhere, do-rag. Everybody can't look all glorious like that. Look, my thing is this. Give me a cat that ain't gonna look glorious. I miss dudes that's got blood on their hands, busted knuckles, blood coming down, black eyes. I miss those type of players. I can't stand jokers that ain't getting his work done. That's just me.
That's back in the 80s. I don't think you're gonna see that no more. These pretty I can barely be catching guys.
It's only a few. It's only a few.
Real, man. That was our day. That was the 80s, man, early 90s. That's not happening. These boys, you hit them too hard, they ready to go sit on the sideline. They tapping out. Hey, can I get somebody to come in for me?
Oh man, you're talking about Anthony Richards.
Yeah, man, these boys tapping out, man. These boys can't take no hits no more, man.
Hold up, man. You said you hit these boys too hard, they ready to tap out. Dang, bro, you cold.
I'm just saying, hey, look, Great Beard just came in with the quad. He came in with a quarterback, Anthony Richards. That joke about big as Cam Newton tapping out. I don't even remember Cam Newton tapping out. This man, I tap that. You about just as big as Cam Newton. Are you kidding me?
I'm not talking about my offensive player, Rich. I get what you're saying, though. I'm not talking about my quarterback. Like, look, I don't need I'm gonna be 100 with you on this. I just need my quarterback to be efficient, win games. I don't care. I just need him to get the ball down the field to the playmakers. I'm speaking on the guys that have other guys that have impacts on the game defensively and also certain offensive players. The reason I'm gonna tell you this here. The reason I love Tyler Algier is because he's old school. Gonna get his hand in the ground. He's gonna sit there and he's gonna knock the hell out of people, and he's gonna keep coming. Yeah, Craig, I'm with you on that. This is rookie year. I expect him to make mistakes this year. I'm not holding Penix to that standard yet because he didn't play a full season. I need to let him grow and matriculate, man. Now by year 3, I expect a hell of a lot more. The first 2 years, I want him just to learn and just be and win games. But year 3, I need him to be a killer.
I hope the rest of the fan base feel the same way.
I mean,
I'm not putting expectations on that boy like that. No,
you got quarterbacks. You got quarterbacks that did some of their first year. So I mean, I'm gonna be the guy in the BirdCage that's saying, I want you to go out there and go do it, man. You're gonna have growing pains. You're gonna have games where you're gonna have some adversity, but see through the adversity and keep pushing forward and find a way to get those wins. Defense, step up. Get the ball back. We got some ball hawks out here to go get that ball back. Get the ball back to MP9. Let them throw that football. Get that thing in sync like you had with ODZA and the rest of the crew out there in Washington. We keep on rolling, man. You gotta think positive. I'm thinking positive, not negative.
It's not thinking negative. It's being realistic. And I'm a realistic Falcon fan. You can say it's negative all you want, but everything I done said that came true when it came to this team during the seasons. And it's not being negative. It's being realistic and where we are. I understand that as a fan, you got to have hope. That's the beauty of being a fan. But when we are analyzing this team and talking about what's what, JD5 fell into a beautiful situation. They just didn't have a quarterback in Washington. They already had a team that was there. So if you saying that, oh, well, this first-year quarterback, let's be real. If he had better receivers, they beat Philly. They had a team established. They had an offensive line that was set. They had a defense that was formed before Dan Quinn even got there with Ron Rivera. So they already had stuff set up. He fell into a beautiful situation. Bo Nix fell into a beautiful situation.
I mean, everybody got a beautiful situation. We fixed our defense,
what I'm
right?
saying, but there are rookies that didn't. But I'm just saying, but there are rookies.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of rookies that didn't, but it's some that did.
It's only 2 rookies who did, bro. Everybody else didn't. Let's be real. Only 2 guys did as rookies: Bo Nix and JD5. Everybody else.
What's the name? Did pretty good as a rookie. What's up, boy, for the Texans? He did good.
Talking about CJ Stroud.
I'm just saying, it's players out there.
A situation benefited him because we saw what happened the next year when we expected them to take that division. That division was horrible. So it was easy for those guys to get through because they had pieces that Lovie Smith had already built. So he went into a situation that was built already. That's what I'm saying. When you look at these rookies that have shined, they are camouflaged by a lot of the things that are already there that's already set up for them to help them out. That's all I'm saying. Big difference. Atlanta has to still figure out its defense right now. Jeff Ulbrich, first-year coordinator here, but we got pieces that are here, but you're implementing a new defense on this team. I'll take that back. You're implementing a lot of new concepts on this defense. Better yet to put it there. And we still don't even know who's really going to be our starting D lineman at this point.
Well, like I said, I got high hopes. The only high hopes that they can be is, like I said, I still have only winning 9 games. So they got some losing going on there. So I only see them winning 9 games.
Hey, I take what we did this year. Unfortunately, we go 8-9 this year. And I see why you said 9. Only reason I say 10 games is because I believe we're going to have at least 2 wins on that season.
I would love it.
I'm saying 10 because I believe it's going to be 2 games that we're going to win that we shouldn't win.
I would love to be wrong. I want to be wrong, but you know what I'm saying? We continue to just keep on win total just about 1 game. So we won 8. I'm gonna say 9. Hopefully win 9 to get us the division and we go to the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping for.
Hey Craig, you get the comment of the night. Facts.
Still holds the record for interceptions from a rookie QB.
Yeah, people don't have patience. That's the thing. It takes a quarterback 4 years. This has come from Hall of Fame GM Bill Polian, who built the Buffalo Bills, who lost 4 Super Bowls, goes to Indianapolis and builds that team, who wins a Super Bowl and actually goes to another one after Tony Dungy retires. So when you look at it, Bill Polian said this hands down. He's had two Hall of Fame quarterbacks that he brought in. Jim Kelly is one, Peyton Manning is the other one. And he flat out said it. It takes a quarterback 4 years to become top dog. Yeah, they have moments, but understanding the game and actually being a consummate professional, it takes 4 years. No matter what quarterback it is, it takes 4 years.
Fairly accurate. Fairly.
So when you look at it, now we all know Warren Moon was already polished when he got to the Houston Oilers because he had already played in Canada for a couple of years and he had 5 Grey Cups. So he was already matriculated. Dan Marino, he came in lighting the league up, but he still had his struggles. And we know how great Dan was. Brett Favre, another one. Jim Kelly. Hell, that 83 class, that whole 83 class of quarterbacks or whatnot was one of the best quarterback classes of all time.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll never get a class like that again.
We might. We might one day.
I don't know.
History can love to repeat itself sometimes.
That class was got above the rest of the league, man. That was crazy.
But I am with you on this. When we talk about being positive with this team, I see a lot of things that's coming. But at the same time, I also got to just make sure that we're in a position to where we are excited about what we have, but also understanding what we have right now and where we are right now. Because we're just trying to win the division right now. That's a bad division. When you look at the best, I'm going to be 100. The best division in the NFC right now is the East. Best division in the AFC right now is the AFC West. Period.
Yeah.
So at this point, we really have a chance to take a bad division by storm, which like we should have did this year. So we just have to be competent with what we do.
Oh yeah. And I'm just saying, I mean, like you're saying, this division is up for grabs. We should have won it last year, and we poo-pooed our way down the stretch. But the key thing is the Falcons can win this division with 9 wins again, because I feel like the division got better. They took, Carolina took some great draft picks like we did, and also, so I feel like the division got better. But like you said, we're still one of the worst divisions in the NFL. So it could be done, man. You just got to go out there and win the games you're supposed to win. And not go out there and have the games like we had in Minnesota and the game and the other game we had down there. I mean, you can't have those games. You got to go out there and battle. And like I said, we're gonna have a running game this year. Now the defense, that's what has to really improve under Olbrich. We have to go out and take that ball away and give the offense more opportunities to score points, and keep the ball away from the offenses and the quarterbacks in this NFL that can hurt us. So I just feel like just staying positive and continue to do the things that we did last year. It's just, you had the division. Stay focused. Don't drop games. You know what I'm saying, that you definitely should win. And we should win this division, man. I just want to keep it on a positive note, because we had it last year. You just let it slip through your fingers with a couple of ebbs and flows and a couple of balls this way and balls that way. You could have got it in there. So we'll see what happens this year. I got a lot of hope for Phoenix. We know he's going to make, I guess you could say, rookie mistakes, even though they're not going to consider him a rookie, even though he didn't start last year, the whole season. They're going to still have a second-year player behind his name, and he has to make those throws, man. From all indications, I think if he stays healthy and they keep him clean, he'll do that. And we just need the receivers that we brought in, and especially Kyle Pitts, to make plays, man. If they decide to keep you around, make plays while you're here, or you'll be escorted out the door with the rest of the regime if we don't make the turnaround that we're expecting to make, because it costs a lot of money and a lot of revenue to go to these games, man, to show up and show out. We just need to be rewarded in wins and respectability around the league. That's all.
I'm just ready. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, because we got I want to add some fans stuff, but I gotta read this. Yeah, it's gonna take patience for Falcon fans. Don't be like the baby mama denying the willing father just to go. Yeah, I feel you on that. Boom has got another. That's another comment tonight. But I'm gonna give you this. I know you spoke on Kyle Pitts, but I'm telling you just like this.
Oh, man,
Joshua Simon, the South Carolina tight end, will make this team.
Man.
And if you remember the footage that I showed you of Joshua Simon, he pretty much is Jonnu Smith. So again, let Kyle Pitts fool around and BS this year. We got somebody to replace you, buddy. Joshua Simon. Y'all can say what you want. I don't give a damn about where you're taking it. It's about taking your opportunity. Because if you look at it, there are Hall of Famers that were undrafted free agents, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't give a damn about that first round mystique that y'all all want to harp on. I'm serious. I'm always going to be that when it comes to that. And when you look at it, I'm going to give you this here. When you look at undrafted Hall of Famers, Kurt Warner, excuse me. Let me not disrespect the Kirk Warner like that. He was a guy that was undrafted.
That man was bagging groceries.
And here's the thing. There have been, just to give you a list, there have been 17 undrafted players that are enshrined in Canton, Ohio. 17.
You one of them.
Kurt Warner's one of them. Drew Pearson, if y'all know about the Dallas Cowboys back in the day, unfortunately, he broke our hearts in 1980 with that touchdown pass he caught from Roger Staubach. He's another one. I give you a couple of more. Willie Brown, God rest his soul, who Deion Sanders, that was his idol at cornerback. Larry Little, who we had on this show, BirdCage alumni, undrafted out of Bethune-Cookman, is a Hall of Famer. So again, there are many guys. As a matter of fact, Larry Little also helped the Dolphins go 17-0 in 1972 and then repeat the next year and beat the Vikings in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It doesn't matter where you come in at. It matters what you do with the opportunity. So, y'all can say all this first round BS, but I'm going to tell you just like this. Joshua Simon is a better tight end. I stand on that. So, if Pitt screws up, you got a replacement right there.
He ain't dropping that bag.
Trust me on that.
Some say the Pitt ain't gonna drop that bag. He gonna act a fool and they're gonna have to pay him. Some just tell me.
My thing is, don't get fooled.
Don't
take the banana in the tailpipe, as you always say.
I'm not. I'm saying I think the regime is, not me. I'm saying the regime is gonna end up paying this guy.
Hey, boom. We were saying undrafted free agents that are NFL Hall of Famers. We wasn't saying the undrafted free agents they got to play it. Tyrone Poole was a hell of a player out of Fort Valley State. Respect. But we were talking about the Hall of Famers. So we dropped the link or whatever. We dropped the link. Y'all got 2 minutes apiece or whatever to come up in here, tell us how you feeling about tonight and what you feeling about this thing. Because we not staying on all night tonight. We all got bills to pay tomorrow.
Bills
just like y'all.
To pay. Bills to definitely pay.
Got to get the money on. So the link is in the chat. Y'all can pop in for a sec. Let us know what you're thinking about this episode and how you guys feel about the direction of this episode when it comes to that. What's going on? What's going on, Boom? What's going on,
man? What's going on, man? How everybody doing, dog?
Boom, Rich. What's going on?
Hey, I know y'all ain't been seeing me like that, man. We started our spring football up. I've been coaching every day, working, getting to it, man. We trying to put together some wins this year, man.
Man, that's what's up, man. Y'all had y'all spring game. Y'all done started. That's what's up.
Spring game is on next Thursday for those that are in Georgia. We playing Rock Springs Christian Academy next Thursday. I want to say they're down in Jackson. So if anybody, want to come to the game, get some tickets, hit me up on IG with your info, and I'll see if I can get you in the game and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna go out there and try to shut them guys down next week.
So boom. So with the show that we were talking about or whatnot, Belichick approved the draft picks. Howie Roseman was in his feelings. Terry Fontenot, Rich, we got you. I see you blacked out real quick. Cousins could be on a division rival. What part of the show for you really sticks out, and what do you want to see? Like, you can talk about any one of these topics that we had.
I'm gonna say this: the fact that Bill Belichick approves of the picks, that right there alone, right there, says a lot about what the Atlanta Falcons did in this draft. And you guys have been talking. I've been talking to a few other guys. I think that the Atlanta Falcons did an excellent job capitalizing off this draft to get what they can get. You talk about two great edge rushers. I've been on Jalen Walker and James Pierce all season leading up to the draft. And you look at them two safeties, man. You talk about third down and long, being able to bring those guys down to the box, man. You know, we got destroyed at the linebacker level. So having those two guys who can be box defenders, especially on third down situation, that just makes our defense that much better. And I think with these guys, and the Falcons also bringing in the right tackle, possibly to replace Caleb McGarry in pass pro, because we got to protect this young quarterback. But that was my favorite part of the show, man, just hearing the fact that Bill Belichick, this Super Bowl expert, you know, in terms of winning championships, the fact that he approves, even though the Atlanta Falcons passed on this guy, I'm just excited for this thing go. Now, I am concerned about the interior guys. I think Trice will be fine due to the fact that we got those two young guys who I think going to hit the ground running day one. We do have a Leonard Floyd who's going to be a good veteran presence, a guy that's had average at least 8 or more sacks over the past 3 seasons. So the fact that the Atlanta Falcons with no money went out and did what they need to do to make this team better says a lot about this organization, right? People can talk a lot about the offense, say what they want to say about we need another receiver. I think offensively we're set. You know, a lot of folks are saying they don't like Ray McCloud. I think Ray McCloud was huge for us last season. I think Darnell Mooney was huge. And like you guys said, they got Kyle Pitts' replacement on the bench already, right? And depending on how OTAs go, how the summer goes, I mean, the Falcons got a good problem right now. My only concern is the defensive tackle position. I do think that with them bringing in those young guys, I think that, you know, Pierce and Walker are going to be motivation. They're going to say, we can't let these 2 young guys come in and outwork us. So, and like I said, Jeff Ulbrich is a schemer, man. You know, I mean, he's going to bring that physical presence, man, dominant defensive line presence. You know, I am concerned about the linebacker group. I don't think, I mean, outside again, Devine, who in my opinion is, I mean, like I said, he was good for the Raiders. To me, he's just a special teams guy, and that's just me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but still concerned there. But for the most part, like I said, I'm excited what they did with this offseason. And to the Falcons fans, like you guys said, it's about being patient, man. We got to, you know, see how this thing is going to gel, man. I do think positive things are coming. I do think we're going to make a major turnaround. I don't think it's going to be a 360. I will say we'll be above that 200 curve, though.
True.
Appreciate you on that.
True.
What you got, Rich?
Man, I'm going to be honest. The only thing I'm going to rebut you on with what you said with the linebacker core. Because one thing I know about Jeff Ulbrich, he don't play by his linebacker code. Because he had, you got to remember now, Brian Poole, Deion Jones, DeAndre Campbell. Our linebackers weren't the problem when we went to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
And that's how I found out that they going to take Vernon and turn him into a linebacker because Ulbrich, they said Ulbrich is number 1 in the league for turning safeties to linebackers. So I'm not saying we have the best linebacker core, but I think he can instill in them what a linebacker should be, if you sort of get what I'm saying. Like, for him, that's his task out the whole thing. But I'm going to tell you what really got me turned up for the season is what I heard AJ Terrell say in that Waterboys interview. I didn't see the whole interview. You know, they ain't put it out, but in that one clip, the one thing I took from that clip about him talking about Grady Jarrett was he said that he is happy to see the whole organization finally on the same page, right? I said, oh, basically you just told on the whole organization to a certain extent right there, because that let me know with Jimmy Lake in the building, y'all didn't like his scheme. That's exactly what they told me. They gave that last game with Carolina, I could see they gave up. That's why we was in that shootout. The whole defense just gave up on his scheme, and I think that they bought into Ulbrich's scheme because Ollie said he's here because he wanted to work back again with Jeff Ulbrich. So to have Ollie on our defensive line talking about
he got me fired up, Ollie.
And it just, I'm gonna be honest, I'm way more optimistic about our defense right now. For some odd reason, I just trust Jeff Ulbrich just because he didn't come in like. Okay, I'm gonna tell you one reason why I trust him. I've never heard Jimmy Lake sit down and tell you what player finna play where, how we finna use them, how we finna do this, I sat there and listened to Jeff Aubrey whole interview after the draft. He said, yeah, we got Billy Bowman because that's our nickel. We need a big nickel in what we run. Like, he's telling you how we gonna play him. Yeah, we're gonna start Jalen at the edge, but we want him to learn edge first, and then we gonna see if he can grasp the fundamentals to move around. So, and we gonna put all our players back in their natural positions. And I used to hate that with Dan Quinn. You taking Big Beasley, putting him in coverage. That wasn't even his game at Clemson. You see what I'm saying? I hate coaches. I'm not saying it's always a bad thing, but a lot of times y'all are taking players out their natural positions, and it's messing up with how they normally move. Like they said, we put Zach Harrison back at defensive end. Him and Doyle's gonna be our big ends. So just to hear the coach, every coach I heard sounded motivated. Like normally when I watched them interview like last year, they weren't even. It seemed like the whole organization behind the scenes, they putting a lot of trust in Penix. And I'm gonna be honest, I just really been watching that boy tape. And I ain't saying he gonna come out lighting it up, because I do feel he gonna have rookie errors.
That might be coming the other night too. That's a
I'm
good
sorry,
comment.
bro. I didn't
That's a
even
good
like. I wasn't
comment,
trying
Craig.
to having what was said, bro. I apologize. Keep going.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Craig.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
I'm still trying to figure out that was a Falcon problem when his son made that choice, man.
See,
Belt,
Hey Rich, you gotta admit,
Rich,
you gotta admit that's kind of funny though, dog. You talk about Ulbrich, he brought.
no, but see, that's what ties into what I'm saying though, because Aubrey didn't have. See, you gotta understand, it's not just players that got pressure. His son did some bullshit, so this how I already see it playing out. When something go wrong, man, it's just Aubrey. You know how we get as Falcon fans, just keeping it real. You know, soon as something go wrong, it's gonna be, man, it's just Aubrey's son hadn't did that. This should do, because you know you got fans that believe in juju.
Nah, I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna sit back and say that. Nah.
No, I'm just saying I know how to, because I'm reading the comments. You got some people that want to hear job taken.
Yeah. I did read that. I was like, whoa, you want a job taken?
I'm literally reading the AJC comments on Facebook. It's a lot of people in Atlanta.
Yeah, I read that too. I read that too, Rich.
A lot of people.
Say this. Ain't nobody try to get Brett Favre or blackball when he went down there and stole all that welfare in Mississippi. So lay off Aubrey, man. Lay off him, dog.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So now he don't have that leeway he would have had at first. So it's not just like, one thing I heard AJ say that really inspired me was, he said it got to be player led because the coaches changed. And he said that's one thing Grady taught him. He said Grady taught him that it got to be player led. He said that's why he was glad the whole organization is on the same page now, because even if the coaches don't get right, he said it's going to be player led this year, because he said as soon as we drafted Jalen, he on the phone like, let's work. They already talking about that. Jesse Bates already said he ready to work with White. So it's like, if Jesse Bates can, you know, fine tune little stuff in his, like, I don't know, man. I'm a little way more optimistic about our defense this year, because they double dipped their DT. They got LaKale London up to 335, because this scheme really don't require a big guy. I don't think the scheme they're trying to run really will require just one of them monsters. Not saying I don't want one, because I sure wanted old boy from the Florida Gators just to at least try him out. That's just me. But
well, look, we getting ready to see what he built like, because guess what? He gonna be sitting right next to Vita Vea, and we gotta run right at them jokers. But I feel like the best way to beat them jokers this year, tire them out, get them going fast, don't let them catch their breath, because you're talking about 300 pounders or whatnot, and he's not 400 pounds anymore. He done lost weight now. So when you talk about it,
chase.
Yeah, when you get them to start chasing you or whatnot, it's gonna be a problem later. But I believe that they gonna get him in shape. But his first year, he gonna struggle with that weight. But I'm with you on that, Rich. But I say this defensively, I got to see it
Yeah,
because we've had too many mistakes. We got guys that are going to be learning a new system. I know you're saying optimistically, and I'm not saying nothing bad because it'll be good. It'll be good for all of us and all parties involved if this defense can come together. But from being a former player, yourself, myself, Boom, K-Dub, we can all tell you this here. When you have a coordinator that's coming in, yeah, guys are going to buy into the system, but that system doesn't click until year 2. It never does. And the reason being is because a lot of guys they're going to be thinking and not reacting. They're going to know what they're doing, but they're going to be thinking more like, okay, I got to do this. The second year, it's all muscle memory at that point. It's just muscle memory. So I feel like it's going to be better next year, but I think it's going to be solid this year. Not saying
that's why I think Tampa Bay gonna take a step back because they got a new offensive coordinator, and regardless of, I ain't gonna make this long, but what I've noticed, just like even with us, we're not the only one that go through that first year offensive coordinator stuff. Because if you look, Dan Quinn really I feel he threw Sarkisian under the bus because you got Sarkisian trying to run Kyle playbook, right? So it's gonna be the same representation with Tampa because I don't think they're gonna let him come in with his own scheme. I think they're gonna want him to do the Steve Sarkisian with the playbook, figure out where to call the plays at, and not saying that it can't be successful. I just think that they even take a step back behind the Panthers, and that's just.
Well, you got to remember they got that offensive coordinator that they have was the quarterback coach, so they moved him up. So Baker Mayfield's already comfortable with him. They're not changing that playbook. So when you really look at what they're doing right now, they're in a position to where they're actually trying to get things. I say this: they're trying to actually get things, keep familiarity there. That's why they didn't bring anybody in new. And I think, and just be honest, I think we'd have been straight if instead of bringing Steve Sarkisian drunk ass in, excuse my language, instead of bringing that drunk in or whatnot, would have better put him at the floor that had a great relationship with Matt Ryan at the time. So they did what we were supposed to do when we had a team that was winning. Nothing would have dropped off if you'd have put LaFleur up in that position and elevated him. And I'll say this. I'll be so bold to say this. If Dan Quinn gets fired, even with LaFleur being an OC at that point, I honestly believe that Matt LaFleur would be the head coach of Falcons right now. That's neither here nor there, but I'm just saying, if you really look at that,
speaking too much truth right now. You speaking too much truth.
And Tampa, and let's be real, and Tampa at this point has figured that out. And when you have I got to give the Tampa Bay head coach, I got to give him his credit, because as a head coach, for him to go through everything he's gone through, everything he's done, he literally has kept that team not just afloat, but they've been winning division titles and going to the playoffs. So he's been able to keep a job. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. But Baker Mayfield is comfortable now. He's got a home. And you're keeping familiarity there. It's not going to be that much of a drop-off like you think, bro. As much as I hate to say it.
I don't think it's going to be a major one, but I just think maybe him having to put, sometimes it's just like, even with us, I say the same thing with us. Our coaches, we got the player to run any scheme they want to run. I sat down and thought about it one day. We really got players to run 3-3-5s, 5-1 whatevers, 4-2-5. You see what I'm saying? Dime looks. We got the players to do it, but can our coaches put it together? That's my biggest issue right now. I'm just waiting to see what the player do, but I'm looking at it from just the coaching, like you said, where it's like, okay, Terry did his part. Now Terry have to depend on you to do your part, because he did his part, and we liable to get fired together, like you said.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't want to happen, because with Terry being able to balance the books the way that he's done, and when you look at the way that he was able to get us situated and squared away, it's very impressive that this man was able to get us out of Cap Hill. Unfortunately, he put us back in a bad situation with Kurt, but I think that we're going to be okay. And I really see how things are. I really see how things are going for the future. But we definitely appreciate you guys for stepping in for the moments or whatnot. Boom, let the folks know about your channel, what you got. And Rich, I know you got a channel that's there too. So I'm gonna let you talk about that too for a sec. So boom, let the folks know where they can find you, my guy.
Hey, y'all can find me. You see it on the title, D-ATL Sports on YouTube. You can find me at DATL Sports on Twitter. Working on the IG, like I said, right now I'm doing shorts. I've done a couple live videos. Try to do some hype videos, but trying to get to doing more shows. Like I said, kind of busy right now with working football, man. You know, but hey, once that break come, I'm gonna be back on it, man. I appreciate y'all go ahead and subscribe, man. Hey, all feedback is good feedback, man.
Hey, boom, stay back for a sec because
So,
I gotta swap some info with you after the show's done. Stay backstage for a sec.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Rich, what you got?
Man, you find me on Dirty Falcon Podcast, man. I'm building it up. So you come go over there, add me. I got a couple of pictures up. I'm learning how to use the YouTube first so I can do the shorts. I've tried to go live because I wanted to talk about something one day, but it wouldn't let me go live yet. They say they want me to get 50 subscribers. So I'm going to need everybody going over there to Dirty Falcon Podcast and subscribe so I can come on here and talk my ish, as Ron would say, you know. So I appreciate y'all boys for having me on here. You know, it's always a pleasure with y'all, man.
Man,
You know, I appreciate the love.
You already on Facebook with me and a few of the other guys. So if you ever need help with your YouTube and all that stuff, learning how to do the shorts and stuff, man, just holler at me. You got my DM.
All right,
my guy.
appreciate
what's up? Appreciate you, Rick.
Hey, man, we out here trying to get it in and whatnot. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in and chopping it up with us or whatnot tonight. K-Dub, Graybeard, definitely appreciate you guys taking time out. But, you know, as we say, man, you either got to get right or get left. And you boys help this chat get right tonight and help these fans get right. So we going to go ahead and get left and get this rest so we get to this Moñon tomorrow. So y'all be safe, be productive, enjoy the weekend, and happy Mother's Day to the mothers that are going to be out here on Sunday. And
Happy
last
Mother's
but
Day.
not least, happy birthday to Michael Penix Jr., our franchise quarterback.
MP9, happy birthday.
MP9.
Mr. Do-Rag himself.
Yes, sir. So we'll definitely catch you guys next week. We'll catch you guys next week, and we'll definitely have some other stuff that's going to be coming towards the show. So as we say here, you either get right or get left again. So go ahead and get left and enjoy yourselves. We love y'all. Ghosts.